everyone, Xandero Gaming coming at you with another video, and today we're doing another deck profile. Today we're going to be talking about Tengen, my favorite character from the show, at least one of my favorite, and definitely the deck that I was most excited to get into the set and kind of figure out. I will say that this is probably the fifth kind of deck profile I've tried to make with it. I've done some like play testing hands, and it seemed like going all in with just Tengen and his wives and, you know, some of the trio was just not enough to make the deck kind of have any kind of agency in the game and have any kind of like big payoff. So we have had to add a little bit of a package of the trio in here, just so that way we can run some of this raid Inosuke, which I think is really, really strong. You're able to go into this Inosuke because we do run some of the smaller Inosuke's, which kind of help us, you know, even out, you know, playing a lot more lower bodies to the ground, and then hopefully being able to get into our raid Tengen and our raid Inosuke. But starting out, we're always going to start with the ones that are the highest energy and action point. And we are teching in two of this Rengoku. I do think that this character is really strong, and he has a great spot in this deck, being able to give you someone that you can, you know, you don't have a ton of raid targets you can play in this deck, with there only being one Tengen that you can run. So he gives you a good late game in the deck. He's 5 energy, 2 action point, 4,000 BP, 1 energy generation. You play this character active onto your field, which is awesome. Since you don't get to raid, this kind of helps us get around that aspect of the game where, you know, it's costing you 2 action point, but he gets to come out active. So it's essentially like a raid turn, but costing you 1 more, you know, action point to do it. When played, you may play 1 card from your hand into your sideline. Place 1 card from your hand into your sideline. If you do, choose it at 1 character with 3,000 less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. This character gains impact until the end of the turn. So really cool card. You're bringing this out. You're going to be able to, you know, place 1 card from your hand to your sideline, pop one of their lower bodies that are in the way to block, and then hopefully it's late enough in the game where now they're going to have to block with one of their big characters, and then now Rengoku is going to get that impact regardless. So really strong card. I think him being at a 2 is great because he has a get trigger in life, so add the card to your hand. Really awesome card. Next, we are running 3 of the raid Inosuke's. Only running this one at a 3 because you should be able to see it early enough. And like I said, we're not trying to run a full package of these Inosuke, but we do need something to supplement the fact that we don't have, you know, 8 Tengen raids, or they didn't make a raid for any of his wives. So we're gonna have a small package of Inosuke's in here. This is a 4 energy, 1 action point, 4,000 BP, 1 energy generator Inosuke. He has raid on top of Inosuke. Really cool. If Tanjiro's on your front line, this character gains impact 1. That's just permanent. It's really strong. We do run Tanjiro's in this deck. We run the 0 cost Tanjiro's. I try to find a way to put some of the other Tanjiro's, but we don't have a ton of Tanjiro's to put into here, so you won't always have that that part of him active, but you really just want the, you know, raid option in this deck. And then when played as the Zenitsu's on your field, choose it to one of the character on your field and switch it to active. This is really cool because we do run a couple of Zenitsu's as well, since he is part of our disguise package. Okay, moving on, that is a really good card, and it's going to seem kind of awkward in this deck, but it's really not. You're going to have options to raid into this guy. It may not feel as synergistic as if you just ran a straight Inosuke and Zenitsu deck, but we're trying to supplement this Tengen and Wives deck with something, and I think that this card does a good job helping you keep a little pace in the game. While you're not always able to maximize his effects, you will be able to sometimes, and it's just an added benefit. You're really just wanting a raid 4,000 BP character, and he gives us that option. Happy to see it. Now, going on to the main big guy boss card of the deck is Tengen Uzui, the Hashira himself, Flashy Man, 4 energy, 1 action point, 4,000 BP, 1 energy generation. This character can raid on top of Tengen. And then when played, this character gains double attack until the end of the turn. Really awesome. So you get to bring him out, and you're going to get a couple of swings in, which is really cool since he's dual wielding, being able to do that. And then activate main once per turn. All Tengen's Wives and Disguised Affinity cards on your field gain 500 BP until the end of the turn. I do wish that this also boosted himself. I think that that would make this card just so much better for that, you know, getting to make him the 4,500. They chose not to do that. I don't know why. I think it would still just be, you know, a strong card, nothing busted. But you get to boost your wives and your, you know, smaller package of the trio that are disguise traits. Really cool, awesome card. Star of the show with the double attack. Amazing card. Love this star of the deck. Going down, we do run 2 of the 4 energy, 2 action point Tengens. It is 4,000 BP, 1 energy, and it is a get trigger in life. Play this character set to active on your field, which is awesome. Really cool. Just like the Rengoku, you have some big plays where you can drop something down for the 2 action point. This one only costs 4. I do see a lot of decks that are, you know, you trying to maximize on the Tengens running this card. And like I said, if you just run a straight Tengen package with the wives, it just feels too slow without a ton of payoff. But this card is really, really good. Only run it at a 2-of because it does have the get trigger, hopefully able to get it to your hand out of life. And it says play this character to active, and then when attacking, you may choose 1 Tengen's wife affinity card on your front line and 1 Tengen Uzui or disguise character from your energy line and swap them. So this is really cool. What you want to do is have a full 4 people out in the front line, swing with one of your wives first, and then when attacking, you can take that wife character on your front line and then switch it with one of your Tengens or one of the trio cards on your back line, which gives you another character to attack with. So you can see with the double attack Tengen here, and then this one also is like a pseudo double attack, but not himself. He just lets you do it with another character. A lot of ways to kind of push the pace in this deck. Only a 2-of on this one though, because we really want to see this Tengen. Going down now, we are running 4 of the color trigger Tengen. This card is amazing. 3 energy, 1 action point Tengen, 2,000 BP, 1 energy generation. It should be 3,000. I don't know why this card is only 2,000. They just wanted to do my boy Tengen wrong. But regardless, it is 2,000 BP. When played, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Tengen's wife or disguise affinity card among them. Add it to your hand, place the remaining cards at bottom deck. So this is your searcher. You're going to play him out, search some cards. He can be in your energy line, and then if you swing with the other Tengen earlier, you know, switch out one of those wives for this Tengen, and he can, you know, swing later in the game. Really cool, awesome card. This is our consistency piece, and the color trigger life is why we're running this one out of 4 of, because we want to be able to stop our opponent early in the game if they do go after our life. Color trigger, choose 1 character with 2,500 less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. Awesome card. Have to be out of 4 of. One of the best cards in the deck. Staying on theme with some Rengoku, though, we are running 2 of this 3 energy, 1 action point Rengoku. It's 3,500 plus BP, so one of the stronger cards in our deck. It generates 1 energy, and then activate main. If on the front line, place 1 card from your hand into the sideline. Once per turn, all characters on your field gave 500 BP till the end of the turn. Really awesome card. You can kind of see where this deck is going. You're going to use this guy to boost up your characters. Tengen's going to boost up all the other ones. So if you have him and the Ray Tengen at the same time up on the field, you're able to boost your wives and all your other characters by a ton and able to swing in and kind of make up for, you know, that DP that you've lost along the way, not be able to match your opponent's BP with some of their cards. Really cool card. I wish it did have a get or a draw trigger, but understandable because he is 35, sometimes, you know, 4,000. Really strong card. Going down the line, we have 3 of the 3 energy, 1 action point Inokos, disguise in the trait, so one of the first disguise cards, 3,000 BP, and very important here, this is our double energy generator in the deck. We don't have a ton of cards that are going to double energy generate, but this one is super essential in the deck for you to get if you want to be able to get out your Rengoku. Part of the reason why we're only running 2 of the Rengokus because we don't run a ton of double energy generators, but I made this deck to be low to the ground, drop a lot of 0 and 1 costs, get them out on the field, hopefully be able to stall your opponent out and get some early swings in until you can get into your Tengens and the later game Inosuke's and Rengokus. But really cool card. It has an active trigger in life, and then it also is treated as Inosuke on the field, so you get to raid into it, and then it also has step. 3,000 BP, really strong card. Definitely not the one that you want to raid onto with your Inosuke's, but if you have to in the pinch, you can do that. Going down, we have Hinatsuru. One of Tengen's wives, 2 energy, 1 action point, 3000 BP, 1 energy generator. This is going to be one of your stronger ones to put out because it says when sideline, add up to 1 Tengen Uzui card from your sideline to your hand, so you're not scared to block with some of your early Tengens to keep your life stable, because then when she gets sidelined, you can add a Tengen from your sideline back to your hand. So this card helps us be able to recycle our raid Tengen, which is really, really important. Love her. Only running her out of 3 of though, because we're taking out some of the Tengen's wives to kind of make room for this package of the Inosuke and the Rengokus that we are playing in the deck. So next we have Makio. This is a 1 energy, 1 action point, 2500 plus BP, 1 energy generation. And she just says, during your turn, if Tengen Uzui is on your field, this character gains 500 BP. Really strong, good card. You'll have a 3,000 Tengen wife characters out, which is not bad considering one only costs 2 and this one only costs 1. Does not have a trigger, which is very upsetting that these two didn't get any triggers in the deck, which it just makes the deck a little inconsistent where we have to run some other stuff now too. So hopefully these characters are not in your life and then you're able to see them, you know, drawing into them. Next we have the Zenko Disguised, 1 energy, 1 action point, 2500 BP, 1 energy generation. This character is also treated as Zenitsu, and then when played, look at the top card of your deck, place it on the top or bottom of your deck. Really cool card, only running it at a 2 of, just to help us with our curve coming in and through the game with a 1 drop here, and then it's just consistency. Play it 2 of, don't want to max out on this one as a 3 of because we're still trying to keep room for the wives in the deck, but we wanted some kind of way to, get through our deck a little bit. That's all. Going down, we're running 3 of the 0 drop, 1 action point, and Inosuke, 1500 BP, 1 energy generator. It's a get trigger in life, so awesome that we can get this card if it's in our life. If we see it early, play it down, maybe be able to raid onto it. Really cool, awesome card. You can see we're running a lot of 1 and 0 drops in this deck. We want to be really consistent when seeing some early drops to keep us in the game, so that way we can get into the Tengens later in the game. The last wife in the deck, this is Suma. Tengen's wife, 0 energy, 1 action point, 2000 BP, 1 energy generation. No effect on the card, but it does have an active trigger, which is nice to see. I wish they would have gave it to, the other wives as well, but awesome to see that it does have an active trigger. And then the 0 drop we're running 4 of and maxing out on is Tengen Uzui himself. 0 energy, 1 action point. It's a get trigger in line. 1500 BP, 1 energy generation. Super awesome card. Have to max this one out of a 4 of. And then rounding things off with our disguise, we are running our Sumiku, 0 energy, 1 action point, 2000 BP, 1 energy generation. This card is also treated as Tanjiro. Main thing is it is disguise type, nullify, impact. Really cool. I think that these cards are really relevant in the game now with so many decks having impact on their body. So these are the characters in the deck. I know it looks a little crazy with so many different things going on. Definitely not cookie cutter in the sense of where you're just running maxing out 4 of all the cards. I've tried to test this deck and find some ways to help the deck out because it is struggling to have like other plays it can do that's not just going all in on the Tengen and his wives. You need something else to kind of supplement it. The deck doesn't have a lot of triggers, and I will say it does highly revolve around getting that color trigger in your life. If you hit a couple of those early, it really can change the pace of the game. Now, I do love Tengen, and I have tried to do it with just the wives, but I promise you, you have to find some way to supplement this deck. Now, however you decide to do it, please leave in the comments below. Let me know what you're doing with this deck. But for me, this seems like a way to, make this deck a little more playable. I like this build so far. I'm having a good time with it. Going on, though, to the sites and the events, we're running 4 of our final triggers. This is just total concentration breathing. Choose 2 action points, get them back. Cost 3 energy, 1 action point, and 4 of our final triggers. And then we have, one of the better parts of the deck is this, our kill spell. Sound Breathing, 5th form, String Performance. Really cool art on this card. I like it a lot. 3 energy, 1 action point. So you get to use it early in the game if you need to. It is a special trigger, so you get to sideline one of your opponent's front lines characters if you get it in life. And then it says choose 1 character on your opponent's front line with BP equal to or less than 1,000 multiplied by the total combined number of Tengen's wives, affinity, or disguise affinity cards on your field and sideline it. The great thing about this card is it just says on the field, so almost every card in this deck other than the Rengokus are going to have, Tengen or the disguise type other than this Inosuke, and the 2 Rengokus. You can see 90% of the deck is going to have a, ways for you to be able to trigger this card. So it only costs 3 energy as well. So you're not having to, like, I built the deck this way. You're not having to keep a ton of cards in your energy line. You're really only going to keep, 2 to 3, 1 drops in your energy line. Once you get the Inoko out, maybe I could find some way to fit the Inoko to be, at a 4 of, but he does cost 3 energy, trying to keep it low to the ground. But I do like this. This is one of the better kill spells that isn't just, a generic Tengen's on the field, sideline, whatever you want. Really cool card. I do like this one a lot, and it fits with the design and theme of the deck. And then we are running 2 of a really cool side card, Bento. I think that this card is a little underrated from this set. I think it adds a lot of utility to a lot of decks. It's only 2 energy, 1 action point, so you can play this card really early, and it generates you 1 energy. So you want to have 1 or 2 of these on the field sometimes, and it's a really good card. It's a get trigger, add it to your hand, so you'll always see this card. Play this site set to active on your field. Activate main, switch to resting. Choose 1 character on your field. It gains 1,000 BP until the end of the turn. That 1,000 BP boost is so strong. It kind of gives you some pressure with some of your early drop characters to be able to make them block and have to be able to lose a body, maybe even one of their big bodies, because if you have Tengen out, now she's 3,000. If you boost her by 1,000, she's going to 4. Same thing with the Hinatsuru. Really good card. I want to find a way to, maybe fit 3 of that in this deck and mess around with it, but this has definitely been one of the harder decks in this set to, find a way to make work. But I love Tengen a lot, and I'm going to keep experimenting with this deck. This is probably not going to be the last deck profile I do with this deck, because I love Tengen, and I want to make him work. This seems like a lot of stuff going on, not like a normal deck profile that I have, because it's just got so many different cards, so many things, but Tengen is missing some stuff, and I'm just trying to help supplement him. But please, try this deck out. Let me know what you think. Like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm getting very close to 100. I'll be super stoked about that. Maybe do some giveaway or something like that. But please comment down below what you like about this deck, what you're running for Tengen. I want to know what everybody else thinks. I appreciate everyone hanging out with me. Peace.